All right, welcome everyone to the very first episode of the 4-Point Play podcast. I'm Matt Brashatsky, joined here with James Carrera, Sam Berkman, and let me just say that today was not a great day to start off our first episode, considering the fact that we're all avid Knicks fans. But we will continue through the pain regardless.
Rough day.
I will not.
So the current situation of the NBA is pretty hectic. So it brings us to our first topic at hand, which is probably one of the most prevalent ones. It's going to be Anthony Davis and the Pelicans. We'll start off with you, Sam. How much is too much for Anthony Davis?
Well, I feel like it depends really what team he ends up going to. Because first thing I noticed, he gets a choice. He gets told that he might get told go to the Lakers, and he says, "Oh, I'd love to go there. I'd love to play in LA. I'd love to play with LeBron. I'll resign there." Then there's rumors going around the Bucks might have a package for him, and you hear no words from him. So it really depends on the team. I feel like the Lakers can definitely give more to go get him. I don't think it would necessarily be bad to give a combination of Lonzo, Kuzma, Hart, maybe even a pick. But for the Bucks, it's different for me. I don't know if they can necessarily, a team like that, or even the Raptors, can make the same push for him. It's really not worth it. As how reliable is he to return? You don't want another Paul George situation, even though that wasn't LA, where he says he's going there, and all of a sudden he's just not, turns your back, and all the fans hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
James, are you in agreement with Sam?
Honestly, I went to shut off the light, so I didn't catch the first 20 seconds, so I don't know what the question is.
How much is too much for Anthony Davis?
Oh, that's what you asked. It's tough because I think that
Well, at what point would you, if you were the Lakers,
okay.
point do you stop for Anthony Davis? Who would you give up for Anthony Davis?
I wouldn't give up. I obviously I'm pretty sure all of the trade rumors from the Lakers don't include all three of Ingram, Ball, and Kuzma.
I think one did.
I think one of them actually did. I think if you add too many young players, young possible high caliber players, then that's a little too much because if you're the Lakers, you definitely have the biggest chance of re-signing Anthony Davis. But it's no guarantee.
He came out and said that any team that I'm traded to is going to be a rental until I get to the Lakers. So,
but okay,
I mean, like I said before, Paul George came out and said, "I'm going to the Lakers," and no one could stop me. And now
Paul George said the same
at a party,
thing.
he resigns with the Thunder and just reveals it to like 20 fans.
Exactly. So
everyone's a snake in the NBA.
exactly, that's true,
Yeah.
including Kristaps Porzingis. So I just think that giving up too many young players that could be a centerpiece in your franchise is too much for him because
on the Lakers, who do you see as the centerpiece? Because do you think that Brandon Ingram has that potential still, and do you think Lonzo is really a franchise player? Kuzma's obvious. I think Kuzma's honestly the most proven that he can be a very reliable scorer. But what about Lonzo and
I have a
Ingram?
problem with Kuzma.
Wait, hold on a
I
sec,
get
guys.
into Ingram and Lonzo.
You mentioned centerpiece in the Lakers, and you did not mention someone by the name of LeBron James.
Okay, I said young. We're talking about the young players here, not the 33-year-olds.
He's 33 is a pretty young age.
I think he's 34 now.
You shut your mouth.
No, is he still 33?
Of the players who are 25 and younger on the
Okay.
Los Angeles Lakers, who do you see as the centerpiece?
So what I was gonna say before our terrible host chimed in, I have a problem with I have a problem with Kuzma. I think yes, he's the second option for scoring on the team. He's proven that he can score. He's averaging 19 points a game. But I think his defense is still a liability. Even though apparently he's been taking strides. I don't know about that. Um, and I just think his game is too one dimensional, because I think he's just a scorer, and also he's more developed than Ingram and Ball. He's also 2 years older.
That's true. Good point.
So I just think I think Lonzo, especially Lonzo, but also Brandon Ingram could just they have more dimensions to their game than Kuzma, because with like definitely Kuzma's more proven right now, obviously, but he is a way lower ceiling than both of them, I think.
I gotta agree with you, James. But I mean, Kuzma's not only is he a liability on defense, but at a point he also becomes a liability on offense because I mean, you think back to that game a few weeks ago where he had 40 points on, I think he missed like 15 or 16 shots and he had 0 assists. So I feel he's a great scorer, but I feel just like he's a liability everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the Lakers would probably benefit by including him in the Anthony Davis trade package.
So you feel that if you obviously we don't know what their thoughts are on all three of the guys, the main guys in the core, young core. But do you feel that if you don't get Kuzma in the trade, you could still make it work? Like if you just had Alonzo and Ingram and Hart in a pick, maybe Zubac. Like if Kuzma's not in the trade, are you still going in?
If Kuzma's not in the trade and I'm getting Ball, Ingram, Hart, a pick, I'm totally fine with that. All of those guys are solid players, all around players.
I know totally that, but it's a matter of what do they think of Kuzma? We don't know, but
the Pelicans came out and said that they didn't say anything about Ingram, but they came out and said that they believe that Lonzo could have a really big role, like next to Drew Holiday in the backcourt, and that like they want to start him playing 35 minutes a game. I think if I were the Lakers, like I think to get Anthony Davis, you need to trade both Ingram and Ball, but I just wouldn't do that, because like I was saying earlier, like their upside is just is all-star level, and I don't think Kuzma could get there. But I guess if you have AD and LeBron, you don't need a third all-star. Like if you have a good scoring option, that's good.
Yeah. See, I mean, this kind of stem off in a bit. Like I feel bad for Lonzo. I really do, because I think the guy can be a complete stud, and he's in an organization where he can thrive the way he wants to. And if he goes to the Pelicans, he's gonna be obviously it's gonna be dual backcourt with him and Drew Holiday, but really it's gonna be Drew Holiday running the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering at what point is he gonna get the chance to really shine? I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm the biggest Lonzo fanboy probably in this call right now.
You probably are.
But
so that brings us to the elephant in the room. Today is January 31st, 2019.
The day I resigned as a Knicks fan.
The day that we were betrayed by our Messiah. The day that we were betrayed by our leader.
I literally call this man Jesus every day, and he's left us. Like he descended from the gods, and I have respected this man more than anybody else, and now he's just gone.
I still can't ask the question:
did Kristaps betray the Knicks? James.
Yes.
I have to agree, but it's not 100% his fault. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, I agree with that too. My original thoughts were just, I cannot believe we got rid of Kristaps. Kristaps loves New York.
I love Kristaps in New York.
New York loves Kristaps. But I just think how the events panned out today, it's just it's very suspicious. Like, how could you just have a conversation with your front office, and then like 3 hours later you're in an intricate 7-player trade? Like,
yeah, I want to know what the fuck was said in that meeting.
I don't know. Were they like Kristaps, you're a little bitch?
No, I don't know, because the meeting was all about.
Oh, I'm guessing we could curse, by the way.
Them telling Kristaps what the plans are for the future. So obviously Kristaps wants to play this year, and they're taking it slow. And clearly, they're tanking this year. That's no secret. They're doing a pretty good job at it. And obviously, Kristaps knows they're tanking.
Yeah.
But what could they have possibly told him? They probably told him. If I were the Knicks, I would have told him, we understand we're not in a winning situation right now, and we want to bring another. We're trying to bring another young player in for the draft, which we're looking to do, and we're looking to sign big free agency offseason. So I don't know. Maybe he took that as I'm not as important to the team.
I guess.
All right,
Maybe
I
they made
gotta
it
tell
seem
you
like he
guys.
wasn't part of that future. Which
It's not.
is
I feel like
ridiculous.
he didn't want to be part of that future. I mean, if you look at everything that came out today, he told the Dallas Mavericks that he was going to sign a qualifying offer next year for, I don't know, like $4 or $5 million next year.
He said that?
Yeah, he did, and he didn't
yeah,
say he wasn't going to do it for the Knicks. He was going to be
yeah.
restricted free agent.
According to Shams from the Vertical, I believe, he said that he was probably going to do the same thing with the Knicks. Actually, Sam, he was going to sign a qualifying offer for a few million next year to remove his RFA status,
Okay.
so that in 2020 he can become a UFA and sign basically anywhere that he wants to. I feel like he would have done the same thing with the Knicks. And I feel like it was a great job by the Knicks front office getting him out of there while they could have gotten some assets, just so he wouldn't have left without, with the Knicks having nothing in return. That would have been even more heartbreaking.
So you're saying that
I feel like
I'm sorry.
I don't know. He just.
I think I think in the end they did the right thing.
I absolutely agree.
I think we're in such. I mean, this trade. What time is it right now? It's 10:31. This trade happened about 7-8 hours ago, if that. Like it's 2:00 and we get an update on our phone that there's a meeting and he's disappointed. And it's like, of course he's disappointed. It's the Knicks. And then an hour later, he's just, what? It was just. It's like I woke up so happy to know that we're in position for a top 3 pick. We got Kristaps coming back next year, and the last thing on my mind was on the team 5 hours from now.
Yeah, it was definitely heartbreaking. But and to be fair, I was mad. I didn't know who to be mad at. I was mad at the Knicks at first because I was like, "Oh, of course it's the Knicks front office. We're such idiots." But then I saw Kristaps tweet video with Luka, and just made me so
that
angry.
asshole.
Yeah.
Wait, what did he tweet?
It's a gif of him and Luka, and they're like smiling, and then he had like the two
Dude, I think that's a lot of Knicks fans' original reaction, like including me. Like I literally texted. I was like, "This is ridiculous," but also I got to return my jersey and get a different Knicks player.
I already bought my Zion jersey. What do you mean?
Should I wait for what pick we're getting?
Yeah, no.
Or should I get?
If they get a top 3 pick, that's what's wrong with whoever they get.
Because I'm
How do you
thinking
know they're not going to trade him
that
away?
or Dennis Smith Jr.
If they, I mean,
DSJ's
is Dennis? Do you guys think Dennis Smith? Sure, like that.
I don't. There's been some reports that he was going to get bought out, but I'm not sure
no
how.
Way. Absolutely, shut the fuck up. No way.
Dude, where is he gonna play?
Absolutely not. He's literally in his 2nd year in the league.
Yo,
and he's a stud. He's a stud, but I don't know if he's. I think that the height of his ceiling is much better than the bottom of his floor.
But
I agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, his athleticism is insane.
Yeah.
What is with the Knicks though, and like trading for point guards that they passed up on in the draft?
Well, I mean,
first I have with Moutier,
fucking Frank.
Then I have with Dennis Smith Jr.
and Trey Burke.
Yeah, I mean now Trey Burke's gone, which I.
Yeah, Trey Burke's gone
that's
too.
So sad, honestly. Like I know he's like not that good, obviously, but he's just so fun to watch.
I mean, last year he provided a much needed spark. I mean, after KP was gone, the whole season was just deflated, and then he came in and he lit up the garden. It was insane. But
I know.
If we're gonna talk
about it was like Glenn Sandy without the Asian part and the part that he just came into the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should like realign our focus on Kristaps, and we could talk about the rest of the people in the last topic. Because we're kind of getting into the third topic there, but
we are.
So Matt, so just going back to what you were saying a little bit earlier, Kristaps guaranteed to not re-sign with the Knicks in 2020?
Not
He wasn't.
necessarily.
I wouldn't say he wasn't guaranteed not to. I'm just saying that the odds of him re-signing with the Knicks were significantly low,
Okay.
considering everything that has happened thus far, and the fact that he probably would have, through the advice of his idiot brother, who I absolutely hate. If he had a normal agent, he would. I know. I'm serious. If he had a normal agent, this would not have been happening. This is all through the diction of his brother.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he did not want to be obvious. Okay, the injury messed this whole thing up. If he had not gotten injured, he would have been signed to the rookie max, 4 years, $150 million. That's it. Boom.
Whoa.
Sign on with the Knicks.
No, 100%. He was averaging before he got injured the first time in the season. He was averaging like 25, and then before he went completely down, he was an all-star, averaging 23.
The Knicks could have signed him to the max, but he was injured, obviously, so you're not going to take that risk. But that whole thing just messed it up. I really feel like he would not have signed with the Knicks in 2020.
I mean, what kind of player do you think he's going to be the same now? After injury. I mean, he's a 7'3". He's very athletic, obviously, but he's got a long body.
I heard his
with
rehab
these type of
is
injuries,
going really
you can't
well.
tell.
Yeah,
I heard that too. Again, you never know. You look at Jabari Parker, 2 ACL surgeries, no same player that he used to be. You can look at hundreds of players. Sean Livingston used to be one of the most electrifying point guards in the league. He blew out his entire knee. I mean, you never know. Maybe next year it turns out that KP is absolutely horrible, and in fact, we actually did win the trade. But I digress.
It's the Knicks.
Topic,
Kristaps is going to average 35 next year.
That's fact.
35, 10, and 10.
Yeah.
All right. So,
that's so wild.
Who won the trade, Sam?
I think it's one of the fairest trades I've seen in a long time. I really do. Knicks were probably not going to end up getting Kristaps long term after this whole thing. They are getting DeAndre Jordan and Wesley Matthews will be gone after this season. They're going to have 74, 75 in cap. 75 in cap. 2 max deals. They're set up for success now. They have Dennis Smith. I would say he's an established point guard, but he's definitely a guy who I think they could rely on for a year or two and see where he goes. And there was the whole thing with Anthony Davis stuff. They have to get rid of the pick or Porzingis. Well, now they still have their whole young core. They have room for 2 max deals, and they have their pick, which hopefully is still one of the top picks. And for the Mavericks, they got to dump their They got to dump those 2 salaries. They didn't take on a great salary in Tim Hardaway and Courtney Lee, but in the end, they're getting Kristaps Porzingis, who there is a lot of potential there to be the second coming of Dirk. So,
especially with Luka.
Oh yeah,
that duo is gonna be.
I know.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to watch.
I mean, if I'm a Mavs fan, I'm very excited. If I'm a Knicks fan, I'm very excited, but I'm also scared.
Yeah,
and that's for Mavs fans too. There's big risk and big reward possibilities for both teams.
Yeah. I definitely think the Mavs are. I mean, obviously the Mavs are a lot less risk, because, I mean, I'm a little confused. Why did they give DeAndre Jordan a 1-year deal when 2 years ago they wanted to sign him to like a 4-year max deal, and then they flip him?
Situation.
That was just a funny.
This is just like
that was hilarious.
This is like the Mavs telling DeAndre Jordan that like they didn't forget about the bullshit that he pulled on them.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't know.
How much? What was his contract? 1 year, $30 million?
No, it's not that much. It's like 22.
22? Dude,
yeah,
we could.
Like that.
I'd be down to re-sign him.
No.
I mean,
no.
For another year?
If you
pair
take
him
a
with
look
2
at the
All-Stars?
entire trade, I agree with Sam. I mean, you freed up. Yeah, you let go of Kristaps Porzingis, but I mean, what are the Mavs gonna do? Seriously.
I think okay, if the Knicks, who could realistically sign 2 of the big name free agents this offseason, if they could sign one of them, if like just one,
If we can sign
then
one,
this
it's
trade
an
will
instant trip to
be
the finals.
I mean, I think
successful.
this trade was a complete waste of time if they don't get at least one.
If we don't sign at least one free agent with $75 fucking million in cap space.
Okay, but now that it's Dennis Smith on the team, now that a guy like Tim Hardaway is gone, who somehow a centerpiece to the team,
Speaking of Tim Hardaway,
who do you feel
Sam, really quickly. Sorry to interrupt. Do you not remember the statistic that I showed you? How he was on pace to be the fourth most inefficient scorer of all time.
I understand, but we were paying him what, $18 million a year,
Tim Hardaway's contract was a tragedy to lose.
and he gets more minutes on when he plays. He gets more minutes like anyone else.
Yeah, it was great.
At least he was playing on like Joakim Noah and Mozgov, like all those contracts.
Efficiency wise, he did not play like a centerpiece, but on paper, he is a centerpiece.
Yikes.
But anyway, so personally, I feel that with Dennis Smith now, I feel I wouldn't say Kyrie and Kemba are off the table, but I feel like number one priority, KD or Jimmy Butler. Or not? I don't even know Jimmy Butler. Maybe Kawhi.
But
Jimmy Butler.
Maybe Kawhi. I prefer Kawhi actually, but
yeah, actually.
How to get? But KD has to be the absolute priority. You have to get that forward. You have to get that big forward.
Then we could flip Dennis Smith.
I don't know.
I don't know. He is a pretty intriguing asset, but
I think they'd also have. I don't know.
Well,
I
who
feel
needs
like
a point guard.
A lot of teams do.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that need point guards.
The Suns need a point guard.
Suns need everything.
Lonzo to the Suns? What? I actually saw
that would be so good for him.
I saw that.
Like that would be perfect.
Yeah,
that would
right?
be so perfect.
Yeah, we could dream.
All right. I think that pretty much wraps up the first episode.
But we did not talk about Wesley Matthews.
Wesley Matthews is the most
part of the trade.
The most average player in the NBA.
He really is.
God forbid we don't talk about Wesley Matthews.
He's like
he's been on so many teams, but you don't realize it because he's just there.
Yeah. He's just like the mean.
Like, do you remember he was a shooting guard in Portland before CJ McCollum? No, I don't. Well, I do, but I'm like I shouldn't. Okay, wait. I want to talk about the All-Star game a little bit because I'm mad.
Yeah, we're only at like 20 minutes.
I'm gonna give you a couple players. One in the East, one in the West.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm gonna give you player A and player B. Player A is averaging 20.4, 6.9, 5.4, 43%, and 35 from 3. Player B is averaging 21.7, 4, 2, 46%, and 38% from 3. Player B's team is better. And they're both pretty valuable to the team. Which player do you think should be an All-Star?
Player A.
Thank you. I agree.
Who's player A? Who's player B?
Player A is Luka Doncic. Player B is Klay Thompson. And it pisses me off so much because Klay Thompson is a Warrior.
Let's go, Klay!
The Warriors already have Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. We're fucking tired of the Warriors. I'm so glad Draymond Green is trash now. I'm so glad he's so bad.
He really is.
This isn't even me jumping on the Luka train. This is just me appreciating the fact that this is a rookie who's putting up in fantastic numbers for a team that isn't that great, who is carrying his team to what is not a great record, but it's what they would be. They wouldn't be anywhere close if they didn't have him. And just the way he goes, like he's just a veteran. He plays like such a veteron. I don't understand how he doesn't make the team. Wait, I got one more. Can I please?
All right.
This one's actually kind of worse. Player A, 14.2, 4.5, 9.4, 41%, 32 from 3. Player B, 19.5, 3.8, 6.4, 44%, and 38 from 3. And player A's team is better.
Are you talking about wait, what's player A's stats?
14.2.
Oh.
4.5, 9.4.
You're talking about Larry versus D'Lo?
With player B.
Yeah, I am talking about Lowry and D'Lo.
Yeah, D'Lo, easy. Bro, D'Lo should have made it over Middleton and Lowry. Like,
I don't know. I think I feel like you could go either way with D'Lo Middleton. I'm so
I don't
glad
actually
Middleton
like
finally got the respect that he deserves.
That's true.
The guy is an absolute player.
Same with Vucevic.
Last year, he put up like 21, 6, and 5 last year. The guy can play, and he's been slept on his whole career. Like he's just so overshadowed by Giannis. He'd be the number one option on so many teams.
Mm-hmm. And I think Vucevic getting the All-Star nod is really.
Oh
good
yeah,
too.
I'm glad for him too. He's beasting. He's beasting this year.
He was killing it last year, and he just and he's killing even more this year. Yeah. Some selection. I mean, D'Lo's gonna be in as an injury replacement for Oladipo, but like that does leave a sour taste.
It's just like it's like a pity enter.
Yeah. All right. Before we sign off though, I just want to give a little shout out to Courtney Lee, just in case he's going to be listening to this. What a true professional he is. He's been through the Knicks throughout it all. He was NBA journeyman. He's been through so many teams. He stayed on. He was positive. He had a great impact on the young players, great mentor, and he left his ego at the door. He played a few games in the G League this year.
Did he actually?
Great guy. Yeah. After he came back from injury.
Oh my god.
Just wanted to
Courtney Lee was the final piece added to what was the 2016 Knicks super team of Derrick Rose, Courtney Lee, Melo, Kristaps, and Joakim Noah. God, that gives me nightmares. I remember seeing like that team happen, and me like telling people Knicks are the 5 seed this year. They're the 4. They're the 5. Like, oh my god, it's actually a disaster. Can't believe it.
That's gross.
Look how far we've come.
Next year though, 3 seed. Gang.
Shut up. How about next year? Not worst team in the NBA. Do you think the Knicks? Do you think the Knicks are better than what their 2012 team was?
Absolutely.
Not 2012. So, I mean, not 2012. I mean, sorry, 2014.
Yeah, 2012 they made the playoffs.
2012 is when they were really good. The only year they were good.
Yeah.
Do you think they passed their 2014 team in wins?
Is that the Lou Amundsen team?
It's the 17-65 Knicks.
No.
Honestly,
I mean,
this
after
Knicks
the
team
trade,
honestly, it's better with Dennis Smith, DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews. I fear that they're gonna end up getting like the 6th or 7th.
I was thinking, cause like I'm going to the Knicks Sixers game in 2 weeks on the 13th, and I was just thinking, I was like, I'm actually gonna have some decent players to watch.
Yeah, I don't think the Knicks can be fun to watch the rest of the year.
Like, we got 3 basically proven starters.
I mean, Wesley Matthews.
Okay. I mean, Wesley Matthews. He's a lefty.
I mean, you guys are we've gone this whole podcast without even talking about Kevin Knox. Like, he's gonna be insane. He's so fun to watch already.
That's true. Us not
getting
rid of Kevin Knox.
I mean, you know, he's only 19. But I mean, he's got to learn to be patient though. He tries to force things. It'll come along.
Yeah. He definitely has flashes of greatness.
Yeah.
And he has flashes of Ntilikina.
Something that crossed my mind. All right, so we have Enes Kanter, who's been DNP a bunch of times recently. Now they add DeAndre Jordan. Fizdale, what do you think he's gonna do? Like, just keep DNPing Kanter and just put DeAndre Jordan on the floor? That would be so fucked up. Like, Enes Kanter's just gonna go back to Turkey and say, "Fuck it, I don't care anymore."
I'm gonna get shot. Dude, he's gonna get fucking shot.
He can't go back to
He's
Turkey.
Gonna die. Is that better than DMPing for an NBA team?
I feel like it'll be pretty messed up if Fizdale continues to DMP him.
I agree.
But there is also Mitchell Robinson and Luke Cornett.
Luke
Cornett. I don't like back to 4 centers on the team. So that's. I don't know what he's gonna do, but DeAndre Jordan is definitely not going to be on the Knicks next year.
No.
Oh yeah, we know that, but it's just like
that's irrelevant right now. Actually, yeah.
That's off-season talk, bud.
Yeah. Also, who cares about DeAndre Jordan? But yeah.
That's true. I mean, 5 years ago, I would have been ecstatic with DeAndre Jordan.
Right? I mean, he did make the All-Star team last year or 2 years ago.
Did he?
No, 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I feel he's kind of washed up now.
Well,
so.
that was also when
he's
like
30 years old.
That's when the center position didn't count with forwards. Like I remember he made the All NBA first team in 2016 with like I don't even know, like it was just like a stupidly less like amount of qualifications and votings and whatever.
Yeah.
He's like that guy. He averages like 8 and 15.
Yeah, dude, he literally averaged like
Like
11 and 14.
He has a wingspan of like something I can't even count on my two hands.
He's like if Shaq wasn't good.
He's
I
like
remember
more athletic Shaq.
this one hilarious thing I heard Charles Barkley say a few years ago about DeAndre Jordan. It was actually in protest of him getting the All-Star nod a few years ago. He goes, if you lock DeAndre Jordan in a gym and tell him that the only way that he can leave is if he makes a jump shot, he's going to be in there for the rest of his life.
Though he did work on his free throws in the
Wait, you see his new routine though? Wait, he like talks to the guy. I think that's awesome. He like starts talking to whoever's.
I think he's shooting like 75%.
Hey, whatever works.
It's
whatever
yeah.
works.
I don't know. It's 75, but it's like 30% higher. It's ridiculous.
And it's in the 70s.
Whatever works.
I know for a fact it's in the 70s, which is
100%
wild. So we're gonna see some
Alright,
nice free throw
guys.
shooting on the next.
The time
Fundamentals
limit's coming up here.
We have no time limit on this podcast. What the hell are you talking about?
The
It's
fuck?
called the bedtime, Samuel.
It's bedtime.
Bedtime. Little bitch.
I mean, if that's what you want to call me.
Hey, dude, if you're the
We're
host,
also-
if you think we should end it off, then we'll end it off.
All right. We hope you enjoyed our first episode of 4-Point-Play.
We'll be back with episode 2 shortly with Steven this time. We don't know where he is.
We don't know where he is. He
Yeah,
might have died.
so right now we're just a 3-point play. We're just an and one layout.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not.
That sucks.